Hello, happy Sunday afternoon, everyone. I welcome you to the Love Your Neighbor auction live stream this year. My name is Ericka Plater. I am the Executive Director of Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Services. And I am just so thankful to have you join us today. And it's virtual, a first time thing for us to do during the pandemic. I also have with me here today my wonderful co host, Mickey Bakst, the phenomenal philanthropist, restaurateur, the founder of Meet the Need, and a very huge supporter of Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach. And I thank you, Mickey, for being here today.
And I thank you for allowing me to be here. And more importantly, or equally as important, thanks for letting me get dressed up as a retired guy. As you know, I've retired from the restaurant industry. Getting dressed is a joy. But more of a joy is being able to be here on behalf of Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach. I unconditionally believe in the great work that you and your team do out here for the people in our community who help us live great lives. You help them, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, Mickey.
And I think that the best way to jump right into it to tell you about Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach is to let you join us and watch this video.
When people think about Charleston, they picture the city consistently voted as a #1 travel destination. But if you take a closer look, you will find that in the shadows of success, many have been left behind. Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Services has the unwavering belief that everyone has the right and opportunity to thrive. They are here with open doors to provide basic and emergency resources, education, job readiness, and health programs to those who are left behind.
Every person that comes through our doors has a story. Some have been struggling their whole lives with systemic oppression, even for generations. And others have had that one circumstance that has sent their entire life into a tailspin. Many of those who come to us for help don't have access to accessible and affordable health care. They actually don't even know where their next meal is coming from. They don't have health care. They don't have the ability to pay for health care. Many of them have jobs, but they don't have reliable transportation. And many of them actually want to use education as an opportunity to excel and to open doors for themselves and their families. But I will tell you, all of them have the desire to improve their lives. They just don't always have the resources.
Another thing that makes us unique is our approach is holistic. So to us, that means that each individual, each family we work with, we're going to look at the entire situation to provide as many supports as possible. Each individual or family might be coming in for food, might be coming in for clothing, but we're going to look at the entire situation. Things like employment. Can we help with your resume? Can we help you find a better job, a higher paying job, or help you prep for interviews? Your budget. Can we look at your income, help you better understand your expenses and your debt? Can we help you look and see what you can apply for, what government benefits? Are you eligible for SNAP? Do you understand how Medicaid works? We look at each person each time we work with them so that we can again provide and help to make the greatest impact.
For many of us, scheduling our biannual dental appointments or the many appointments that women need when they're an expecting mom, we don't think twice about it. But the reality is, for the rural area that we serve, the access to affordable healthcare is a privilege and it's not a basic human right. Imagine if you or someone you loved was newly pregnant and didn't have access to affordable healthcare. What would you do and what would they do? Wouldn't know if the baby was at risk for complications or was on track for a healthy pregnancy. And without our women's services, our patients would have nowhere else to turn. Without Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Wellness Clinic, our patients would need to go 15 miles to the closest free dental clinic. And without us, our patients would have to choose between getting a root canal and saving a tooth or paying rent and feeding their family. We are committed to providing healthcare resources so that our patients don't have to put their own health at risk just because of their income bracket.
For over 100 years, Our Lady of Mercy Outreach Neighborhood House downtown has been in existence. We are here to help the people in the community. I've been here for at least 29 years, and I'm here to make sure that everyone is fed and get a meal each day. Before the pandemic, we have been serving a hot meal, sit down in for lunch, 12 to 1. Now that the pandemic has started, we have to serve bag lunches. We have more than 100 people come for lunch. Anyone that is welcome to come. I will be here. I've been here 29 years, and I will make sure everyone is fed.
In our ESL program, we help to teach our students not only about grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation, we teach them real life skills, practical things that they can take outside of these doors and apply to their everyday life, make their everyday life better. And not only do they learn these English words and vocabulary and everyday life skills, but they also find community. And they also find a home away from home. With our GED classes, students not only learn the high school equivalency, academics, but they take away from this class hope and opportunity for a better life. So with our child learning services, our students not only learn math fluency, math facts, reading fluency, but they also walk away with other life skills like organization, how to advocate for themselves. They have a great mentoring opportunity from the volunteers that serve them. And so we are committed with our education programs to serve our adults and our children and help change their lives and build a better community.
So what type of stories do we see here? Well, because our approach is so unique, we see more life-changing stories than you can imagine. When people walk through our doors, we see the possibility and not the struggle. Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Services is committed to helping everyone, regardless of who you are, where you're from. We're here to help. We want you to thrive.
When the world turned upside down during the pandemic, Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach opened their doors even wider for community members. Some they'd helped for years. Some had reached self-sufficiency and found themselves struggling again. Some found themselves needing help for the first time. We have the opportunity to make a difference, so people can become financially stable, have access to food, clothing, education, prenatal and dental care. This is the power of Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach. This is your power too. Invest in your community. Bring light to an otherwise dark time. Spread hope and help to those who need it most, because there is still a lot of work to do.
As you just heard from our chair, Jane, there's definitely still a lot of work for us to do. There's some recent data that was shared by Friday United Way that says that the cost of living in the Charleston area has grown over just the last 4 years. It's really grown that much. The price of wages has only grown 1.7 to 1.9. And that differential right there tells you that the number of people in need is actually growing. If we don't have wages to keep up with the cost of living. So there's work for us to do. It makes today very important. And it makes not having a living wage, not having sustainable employment, not having access to affordable health care, child care, or even just the concept of more of a dream. And so we really need your support today. Our goal for this Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Commission, which is to help individuals reach self-sufficiency. We need you to help us do that. And you heard in the video all the great work we're doing, so help us make sure that continues.
And they're going to do it with your help through an auction. I just want to add, I have just sent out a message to some of the restaurateurs in town. Stick with. We're going to get some text back. We're going to add some exciting new auction items, something for all of you to bid on. I know you've been bidding all week. These items have been up for you to see all week long, so please keep the bidding going. If you're watching on your computer, look to the left side and you can see the bid right now button. Do that. If you're on your smartphone, I don't know how to do this, scroll down and you'll find your way to bid there. Bidding closes at 11:59 tonight. So keep an eye on those auction items that you love, and let's keep bidding. Ericka, did you know that there is a foursome on the ocean course at Kiowa Island? I have to beg to get on that course. Somebody here is going to bid for it. And if you're not a golfer, there's an extraordinary home on Edisto Beach, oceanfront, that you could win with your bids. This is virtual. You can do it at home. Just that button now.
And I would actually say, you know, I think that while this is new for all of us, I'm having some tech issues, if you can't tell. Now, can you hear me better? This is new for all of us, and as you see, we kind of go with it. But I will say, as you at home are using technology to be a part of the live stream today, if you have any challenges, any issues, there's a phone number that's going to pop up on your screen. 843-559-4109. Call that number at any time during the live cast, and we'll have staff here available to be able to help with all your technology needs. So we can't go too far into thank you to all of our sponsors. And I want to give a special shout out to our hero level sponsors. And that includes Feed the Need and Meet the Need, which Mickey's organization is with us here today. So thank you, Mickey, for making that. We really appreciate you. We have other hero sponsors such as Ralph and Liz Mastrangelo, Thomas and Mary Alice Roberts, Roper St. Francis Healthcare, the Sisters of Charity of Our Lady of Mercy, and Joseph and Kathy Tronco. We give a really big thanks to you as our hero level, which is our top level sponsors. And I also want to thank all the other sponsors who have contributed to the event today, to the auction, and to those who are making donations and bidding. So thank you very much.
And to everybody out there, all of the sponsors, everybody, I want you to know the reason Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach has their doors open is so that community members who want to change their lives can. These are people that you and I know. People who every day show up at work. They wash our windows. They cut our grass. They're at the grocery store, the drugstore. These are the people that we are helping here at Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach. People who want to change their lives, and we are able to help them do that. Today, I want you to hear about one young woman's life and how it was impacted by the great services offered here. The young lady's name is Modesta. She first came here for prenatal services for her second pregnancy. While here, she learned about their wellness center. She learned about their classes in English and afternoon programs. Here's Modesta's interview for you to see with Kelly Crisatello, Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Education Manager. I ask all of you to take a moment and listen.
Hi, I'm Kelly Crisatello, Education Manager, and this is...
I'm Modesta Flores, Our Lady of Mercy student.
Yes, she's one of our ESL students. And so I have a few questions for you today, Modesta. Okay. And how did you find out about Our Lady of Mercy?
Well, when I was pregnant with my second child. A friend recommended me to come here
Okay.
to take care of my pregnancy.
Okay. When you were pregnant with your second child.
Yes.
So you learned about the wellness center?
Yes.
About the clinic?
Center, and then they told me about our English class over here.
Okay. And then you found out about English
Yes.
classes. Great. And what types of programs or services have you used?
Well, I came for my pregnancy care and for dentist.
Okay.
Then my children, they came for after school program to help with the homework.
Okay.
And then they came for the summer camp too. because
Okay.
They have summer camp too
Okay. Great.
for my English class.
So a lot of different services.
Yes, and that's really nice. That's really helpful to us.
Okay, wonderful. So prenatal care, dental care, ESL classes, after school, summer camp.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's great. Okay, and why did you start ESL classes? What brought you here to us?
But when my children they start school, and like, well, I really need to speak English to understand with my teachers, with the teachers, with well, for everything. I over here in USA, I need to speak English.
Okay, great. What do you think you have gained from these classes? So what have the ESL classes done to help you?
Well, I depend more on myself. Like I don't have to look for somebody to translate my work or something I want to do. Other than like I can do everything for myself. Like I go to the doctor, or I can make appointments. I can call somebody and I can understand and I can. I
That's
feel-
great that you have more independence.
Yes.
Yes, great. And what are your goals for the future?
Well, continue with my English class, and I hope to get my GED.
Your GED?
Yes.
Great. We have a class for that too.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
It's my pleasure.
When I listen to Modesta's story, and even as I go through my work days, there's two things I realize. One, I'm very blessed. And the second thing that I realize is that I sometimes take for granted the life I've built for myself, and I take for granted the access and the privilege that it affords me. This is actually why we're here. This is why your support matters, because being of service to people like Modesto and her family who are trying to build a life for themselves is what matters most. So please, please, please keep bidding on those items. Make a donation if you would like. We have something for everyone who's joined us today. I know we have a $150 gift card to Mercantile and Mash on East Bay Street, and that's up for grabs. We also have a great barbecue package, and if you're like me and you love a good barbecue, this is going to be right up your alley because it's for Home Team Barbecue, which is really great. There's Melvin's Barbecue, and then there's Rodney Scott's Barbecue. I've had 2 out of the 3. I can definitely say they're awesome. And there's many, many more items for you to bid on, but that's just to name a few.
And I just received a text while Ericka was waiting. I want to shout out to the restaurant community. You've got barbecue, you got Mercantile and Mash. I just got 2 checks, one from Steve Palmer of Indigo Road, my partner in a number of ventures, who is very, very involved in supporting the community, and the other from another dear friend, Scott Shore at Edmonds Oast. Together, and this is new, ladies and gentlemen, this is just going on the website. These are 4 dinners for 4. One night at Edmonds Oast, one night at Indaco, one night at Oak, and one night at Oku to be used whenever you want.
Wow.
Wine pairings by Sarah O'Kelly at Edmonds Oast. I know that Steve's people will knock your socks off. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 4 dinners for 4 in 4 of Charleston's top restaurants. So please jump on there. I also, while we were sitting here looking at Ericka fidget with her microphone, I noticed a ring on her finger. And that is a diamond ring from truly some of the most generous people in Charleston, the people at Krogan's Jewel Box, valued at over $5,000. And just a word about Krogan's. If you don't know their commitment to this community, you should, because there is never a time they say no when it comes to helping the people of Charleston. This particular donation is valued at $5,000. It's 18 karat white gold with a Leamore, Mariana, I hope I said it right, Leamore cut half carat diamond. You've got to bid on it because you know what's coming, the 14th of February. And it looks like we already have a bid for $2,110, which is not even close to what this ring deserves. So let's get there and let's bid on it and bid on it. And the bidding again stays open till 11:59 tonight. And gentlemen, do not forget it's Valentine's Day. What a perfect gift from Krogan's could make your Valentine's great.
It really would. I have to say it's going to be hard for me to part with this at the end of today.
I'll pull it off your finger. We're going to have to.
I'm enjoying being the hand model once in a while, you know. And I just want to give a shout out to Edmund Zos, to Steve Palmer, and just thank them for being able to throw in new auction items for us. We have added that to our system. So when you go online, it'll be item number 183. Again, item 183 will be the 4-restaurant package that Mickey just shared with us. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Steve.
We're waiting for some more.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I have a lot of great moments when we're having the auction face to face, when we're at the Marriott. I have a lot of really great special moments that I enjoy a lot. And we have one coming up right now, and that's the Love Your Neighbor Award. And that's this award right here. Mickey, you were an award winner just a couple years ago.
I say in all sincerity, it was one of the great honors of my life, and it sits in a beautiful spot in my home.
Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. Thank you. Well, you was well deserved. Well deserved. This award we give every year at our auction for those who may not know. It actually recognizes individuals who exemplify the principles on which the Sisters of Charity of Our Lady of Mercy founded the organization. And that really is to live a life of service to those who are most in need. It's also to live a life of compassion, empathy, unconditional love, inclusion, and being able to see the good in everyone and to treat them with integrity. Embody the values of our organization, that is compassion, and being able to serve the Charleston community in particular with love and understanding, inclusiveness. And everything we do. This year's award is actually going to go to Walter Kit. Now, Kit is actually, when I came into the organization, he was on our board, and he was a part of our neighborhood house renovations committee. So he was really helping us create a new vision for what neighborhood house could be for the downtown community. And he was helping us to kind of navigate all the roadblocks that we had in getting that created. But even more than that, I found him to be a very gentle and a very straightforward kind of guy. He's an advocate in the community on a lot of different issues. He's helped raise awareness around HPV. He supported many nonprofits just like us through his philanthropic work in Charleston. And he's been very vocal. Sorry, I'm having mic issues again. He's been very vocal about making community first and doing what needs to be done for those less fortunate. I'm happy to give him this honor today. And while Kit could not be with us, he has asked that I read a statement that he shared for this moment. I have huge admiration and respect for the people of Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Services and Neighborhood House. They are compassionate, brave, and tireless in providing essential resources to families and individuals who need a helping hand. I am fortunate to have been a part of the team that accomplished important improvements at Neighborhood House in recent years. Receiving this award symbolize our community from Kit.
And I just want to jump in and say, Kit and Alice, thank you for all you've done and all you do for this community. It is an honor for me to be here as you receive this award. I'm truly thrilled. Congratulations, Kit.
Yes, congratulations.
I want to see this bidding really blow up. So
Yes.
a couple of
Yes.
things. First of all, Belmont Charleston Place, my old home for 16 years and a place that will always hold a spot in my heart, has graciously donated a chef's tasting for 8 with wine pairings created by Michelle Weaver, with wine pairings chosen by new sommelier, who is with me for 15 years, Andrew Marshall. Along with the tasting menu, 4 couples will each receive a night at the hotel. So your hotel room will be there the night that you're eating. You can drink all you want. You can have an absolute ball. The bidding right now is at $3,200, $3,290, which honestly is almost retail. So I want to add an extra incentive. I personally will pull out 2 bottles of extraordinary wine valued at about $1,000 and send them to the restaurant for you to enjoy as the last course of that meal. I guarantee you these will be wines that any wine drinker would be thrilled to drink. I'm not telling you which ones because I haven't decided, but I promise you they'll be great. I also want to tell you that while Ericka was talking, Steve Palmer again felt that the dinner for 4 at 3 of his restaurants, along with Scott's,
Wow.
was not enough. Steve is now throwing in another dinner for 8
Oh my
at Oak
gosh.
Restaurant, including food and wine. And I promise you, he will make it spectacular. So that on top of Belmont, there's 2 opportunities for you to truly open up your wallets and remember what the cause is. You're not shopping for value, you're shopping to help someone's life.
Yes. And also, Valentine's Day, we have another
Oh, I forgot
item.
that.
Yes, we have another
I got
item.
carried away. Everybody who knows me knows that's not surprising.
That's why I'm here, Mickey.
I like this
I
other
like
one.
it.
Can I do this?
Yes, you can.
I would like to address the ladies in the audience. I addressed the men for Valentine's when we talked about this incredible ring that Krogan's has offered. Now, ladies, why don't you tell the man you love how much you love him? Because this next item will scream it to the city. You will be able to put your Valentine's Day message on the American Theater marquee, custom to whatever you want to say. This day-long message will ring through Charleston, and everyone will know how you feel about that special guy. I just thought it's time we started talking about what the women can do on Valentine's
I was
Day.
going to say we are all about diversity and inclusion. So we can do for our men like our men do for us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just keep bidding. Please, let's remember why you're bidding. And while you're bidding, you're going to hear from Ryan Verba and Kristen Raymond. This year, as we all know, has been unlike any year in any of our lives.
Yes.
They are going to tell you how the pandemic has impacted our community and how important your donations are at this time. So let's take it to Ryan and Chris.
Thanks for the introduction, Mickey. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kristen Raymond, Director of Development at Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach.
I'm Ryan Verba, Director of Programs, and as Mickey said, it's been a year unlike any other.
We're coming to you today from the Child Learning Center at our Johns Island location. While we're bummed that we can't be together, we're excited to give you a view into another program that helps families on their path to self-sufficiency. On a normal day, this room is filled with children of adults enrolled in our education program, our GED program, our ESL classes. But today, we're here to talk to you about what we've been seeing over the past year. In March, we began to realize the significant toll the pandemic would have on the communities that we serve. Jobs were lost, hours were cut, parents had to make very difficult decisions in order to care for their kids out of school. Those experiencing homeless found services they normally use shut down. As businesses, restaurants, local government buildings, and neighboring community resources began to shut down, we realized that we needed to step up. The community needed us more than ever, and it was our responsibility to serve on the front line. Ryan, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what we've been seeing over the past year?
Yeah, absolutely. As you can imagine, since the pandemic began, we've seen just a great increase in many of our services, the need for them. But by far, where we've seen the greatest increase in terms of need is our financial assistance program. So for those that maybe don't know or aren't familiar with that program, through that program, we're able to help pay a major utility bill, a rent, or a mortgage bill for those that might be behind. In a typical 12-month span, we're able to provide around $45,000 of assistance through that program. But this year, in the first 6 months already, we've gone past that mark and have hit $50,000, and we're well on our way to $100,000 for the fiscal year.
Wow, hearing those numbers really puts it in perspective for me. I remember the phones ringing off the hook, people showing up at our doors needing food, emergency assistance. Some that had used our services before, and some that had never needed help before.
Yeah, absolutely. Another area we've seen just a great increase is people coming to us for the first time. Since the pandemic began, again, we've seen hundreds of new individuals and families coming to us that have never come before. And many times, not only have they never been to us before, but they've never been to an agency like us. They've never needed it. But whether it's be a reduction in hours at work, a loss of a job, or even unforeseen medical expenses, they've had to come to us for the first time. As you know, a big part of our model and what we believe in is case management. We want to sit with each individual or family that comes in and really understand the situation so we can provide as many supports as possible. And with sitting with these individuals as they've come in, we heard something, a theme that arose, and that was that there are many others in the community that can't come to us because they're working during the week, but they still need our services. So for the first time in October, we offered a Saturday food and dental kit distribution.
Mm-hmm. So I remember Saturday morning, Ryan and I show up early to prep boxes and get everything set up. And we're talking, and I'm, of course, worried that nobody's going to show up. And Ryan is worried that too many people are going to show up. So as much as I do hate to admit being wrong, Ryan, why don't you tell us how the day went?
Sure, absolutely. So again, as Kristen mentioned, it's something we had never done before, and it took a lot of prep. So we were there early that morning planning to start at 9, but at 8 o'clock, an hour early, there was already a line of cars through our parking lot and onto the road. So we started an hour early, and for the next 4.5 hours, didn't stop. We provided car after car with food, with dental kits, until our shelves, fridges, freezers were bare, and we had nothing else to give. At the end of the day, we had provided 276 cars with food and dental kits.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And you hear a lot, right? You hear in the news about how families are struggling and people really are having a hard time getting by. But when I was telling a community member about our food distribution and how many people showed up for our food distribution, they were shocked. I mean, even in a year that we're having a pandemic, the fact that 276 families where we live in our community didn't have access to something as basic as food, something you need to survive, it was really shocking to them.
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many in need in the Charleston area, and obviously this pandemic has just made it worse. As an organization, we've been around for 31 years. We're going to continue to be here, and we're going to provide for those needs.
Yeah, this past year, when I think about it, it's been really, really eye-opening for me. And I've been on the front lines a lot more than I normally am in my role. And I was thinking back to a day that I remember vividly in early May. Wendy, our education coordinator, and we hopped into the work van and we were going to deliver senior food boxes. So we're driving down many dirt roads, getting lost quite a few times, right down the street from my own home, from where I live. And these streets that we're driving down, seniors live down these streets. Seniors, a population that is vulnerable in a normal year, but especially during a year when we have a pandemic. And some of these seniors have no access to transportation, have no access to food, don't have air conditioning during the hot summer months. And some of the people we serve don't even have access to running water. And when I laid down to go to sleep that night, I thought about what we're doing here. As staff, as supporters, it is so much more than just a job for us. And you are so much more than just a donor. In a year like this year, the sorrow, the loss, the need, it can feel really, really overwhelming. But luckily, us here, us as staff, you as supporters, there is something that we can do about it. And all day, we have been joking about bidding and having friendly competition. But the reality is that the bids that you all have been making and the donations that you all have been making, they're a lifeline. And so that bid that you made this week, that bid turns into 65,000 pounds of food that we have given out since March. That donation that you are about to make, that turns into the 18,000 to-go lunches we've given out at Neighborhood House. It turns into the 570 times our case managers have sat down with or had a phone call with people that have nowhere else to turn. And so as you join us from afar today, please know that here today, together, what we are doing is so much more. Back to you, Mickey.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin the scripted thing, I just have a couple of words to say. I was thinking about Steve Palmer, about Scott Shore, about Rodney and Melvin's and Aaron Siegel at Home Team, and all of the restaurant people in this community who all throughout the years have worked so hard to help this community at every opportunity. I personally want to thank all of them. Though I'm not part of the industry anymore, my heart and soul is there, and I am proud. These people stand up when this community needs help every single time. And as we go forward, I'm asking you to stand up like they do and reach into your wallets and help all that you can. There's a lot of auction items out there. They're values, but it's not about the value. It's about what your donation will do. But the Edisto Island home, oceanfront, 4 bedrooms, for a week, only $1,900. Let's triple that and give to this great organization. The dinners that are out there, everything needs to be more. When we're in the Marriott, there's a lot of live, exciting energy when we're live and together. Now, as Ericka said at the beginning, everything's different. But the cause is not different. The need is not different. The need is actually greater. And that's why we need you to please dig as deep as you can to help as much as you can. For my part, I would like to tell you, Ericka, so sit down. Feed the Need is going to write you a check today for $40,000.
Oh my gosh, Mickey.
To help this organization. And I say with pride, it's not the only check we've given you.
No.
But what you do here deserves our support and everybody's out there support. So I am challenging everybody. Let's double or triple that number. There is a donation button for 10,000, 5,000, 2,500. Give what you can because the community needs our help.
I thank you. First, Mickey, thank you. I feel like I'm always saying thank you to you for one reason or another, but thank you for that donation on behalf of Meet the Need. And you're so right that people need us and they need us more now than they probably ever have. I was actually having a conversation with some of my nonprofit colleagues, and we were talking about the fact that even before COVID hit, a lot of individuals and families are actually living in the woods all throughout Charleston, the number one tourist destination in the world. And it's heartbreaking to know that that's happening. And that's why we're here. That's why we're all here and doing the work that we're doing today. And that's why this event matters. That's why the bidding matters. That's why the paddles up matters, because we have enough power in community to actually make a difference, to make this better for those who need it most. And that's why we as an organization not only focus on health and education and some of the basic needs like food, clothing, financial assistance, but we believe in a community-centered approach to what we do. We work with all kinds of organizations across the Charleston area to make sure people do get housed, to make sure that they have SNAP benefits, access to Medicaid. I mean, the list goes on. This is why my staff is important, because there's so much need. And if we work together, and as you like to, as you said earlier, and you like to say, the we is the most important thing that exists. That's why we need to make sure we can make a difference today. And I think Kristen said it perfectly when she said, we are a lifeline and we give a lifeline to those who really need us. You know, we don't really focus on the problems, we focus on the possibilities when we see in people as they come through our doors. And we believe in others when they have hit rock bottom, when they feel like there's no way out, and when they have no hope. We believe in them when they can't believe in themselves. That's really what we do at the end of the day.
And you do it incredibly. And I am touched all the time. Poverty is going to be here always. It's been here since the beginning of time. We're not going to change it. But what Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach is doing is changing the lives of those that they can reach. That's what your money is going for. I get touched every day. I told Ericka that I was just over there at a shelter and I saw a woman in line moaning. And when she got up to where I was sitting, it became apparent she was having contractions and was due to deliver a baby anytime in the next day. And she was standing in line because she couldn't afford to buy diapers. This is not somebody who is homeless,
Right.
just homeless.
Right.
This was a woman who worked in a convenience store behind the desk, taking care of us, making $7.80 an hour. This is not just about homelessness,
not.
which
No.
Ericka talks about. It is about the people who help us live our lives and who are not making ends meet,
That is true.
especially now.
Especially
as
now.
people have lost their jobs. I saw a woman with 2 children. She had never, ever had to ask for help. Her husband and her both lost their jobs in March and hadn't been brought back. She literally asked, how do I do this? We've never had to do this.
We've seen a lot of that, Mickey. We have individuals we helped get to self-sufficiency who are really having great lives. And when COVID hit, they have had to come back to us for help and support. And we've seen a lot of new folks come in to the organization needing help as well. So everything you're saying is completely accurate. And that working kind of poor, that class that doesn't have a living wage, that doesn't make enough money on one job, that works 2-3 jobs, are really hurting more than anything right now. And that's a lot of who we see coming through our doors. Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to be overkill, which I have a tendency to do. This organization needs our help. It's that simple. There are people there desperate for help, and they are meeting that need every day. Ericka, I am going to do one more. I'm going to cry,
Don't do that,
but I'm going to
Mickey.
do one more thing. Ellen and I are going to make a personal $10,000 donation
Oh,
to help you do what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a rich man, but I have everything I need. And the reality is, I have the means to help. I'm asking you, do you? And can you?
and please, Mickey, just know that I deeply appreciate you in every way because you're giving us your time today. You support us all throughout the year. So I am extremely grateful for just that personal contribution from you and Ellen to the organization and to all we do. Because not only do you open your pocket and your heart, but you give us your hands too when we need it. So thank you for that.
It truly is our honor. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's raise your paddle. I'm not seeing a lot of donations. Let's really bring it home. Raise your paddle today. Bid on the items. Pay triple what you would pay normally, but know what it's going for. Let's come together. Let's rise up Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach and applaud everything they do to help the community we live in.
Yes.
Don't forget the auction closes at 11:59, and I'll shut up so you can hear from Ericka.
Mickey, I think you're better at this than I am. But I thank you. The staff are tallying up our final numbers to see how close we are to our actual goal of $250,000 today. I mean, Mickey, your contributions are actually helping us get closer to that. Everyone at home, I know you're helping us get closer to that. So before we go further, I just wanted to again congratulate Kit on his award that we have given him today. And I thank him again. I hope he's watching, but I thank him for all his contributions to the Charleston community. Mickey, my handsome co-host, I will do this with you anytime. So I thank you for being here with us today. I thank you for your passion. I thank you for your candor, and I thank you for the giving heart that you have in everything we do.
Thanks for allowing me this gift.
Oh, of course, anytime, truly. And I want to say thank you to my staff who have made this virtual event a reality. We weren't sure how we were going to do it, but we have figured it out. I also want to say that, so we're getting some numbers in, and it looks like, our goal is $250,000. With the bidding, with the paddles up that have come in so far, we are sitting at $137,000. That's huge to do that, but we have a little ways to go. So if you are in a bidding war and you might lose that one item that you really have your eye on, don't worry. You can still hit that donate button and make a donation to the organization. For all those who are bidding, don't forget you have until 11:59 tonight to make your final bid. We will be sending out communications starting tomorrow for all the winners. And if you don't win that item and you don't get that email tomorrow morning, you can still make a donation to us all the way through Tuesday and even beyond. Because the one thing we really believe in is community. So it's not just about opening your pockets to us today. It's about joining us as a family in the work we do to help the community that we all love. And so with that, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your support. I know there's a football championship game happening today, so we don't want to take up too much of your time, but keep bidding. As Mickey said, keep bidding, keep bidding. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy those brunch boxes from Bag at Magic. Enjoy all the things that are brought to you from all the businesses around the Charleston area through the auction items. And we hope to see you at the outreach one day. Have a great Sunday and a great time. Thank you. Thank you all.
Goodbye, all.